Julia Moore for WMCX, and I would like to talk about the Monmouth women's basketball team who took on St. Joseph last night, who beat them 57-45. I would like to start off with Stella Clark, number 0 for Monmouth. She is an incredible player, an incredible leader on the court. Literally, the point guard was pushing the ball, who was falling all over the place. She's literally like 5'2", probably a little shorter than me, and she's grabbing boards. She's on it. She's constantly all over the place, and she's pointing here and there the directions. She's calling different plays. She's communicating with her coach on like, yeah, dribbling the ball. Like, yeah, I'm playing a basketball game, but yeah, I'm able to take on all the responsibilities as point guard. Like, she's doing her job, and I commend her for her leadership on the court, and also leadership from Jennifer Laurel. Um, she was another key factor, hitting crucial threes for the Hawks in the third quarter, and also catching a lot of rebounds and just all over the place. I would say that overall, every individual was focused and locked in. Everyone was excited to be there, the energy, the intensity. And I feel that the key factor, what helped the Hawks win last night, was a defensive mindset. Defensively, they locked down St. Joseph. They couldn't go anywhere. Their key player, Kaylee Henderson, an amazing player, locked down. She couldn't really do anything. She was trying to get off shots. She was trying to dribble and drive, trying to dish here and there. She couldn't get anything off. And the Hawks did an incredible job defensively. Now, offensively, they shared the ball. They shared the ball. They wanted everyone to score. When one person was open, they just gave it. They just gave it selflessly. And if one person didn't make that shot, someone was ready to rebound. Someone was ready to get that ball, and you saw the shot clock reset. And everyone's like, all right, here we go again. Another opportunity for the Hawks. Like, it was an amazing atmosphere. And I just admired also the new head coach, Coach Jenny. Just, she would not sit down. She was in it to the very end. She did not take a seat. She stood up, and she literally stood by the end of the bench, and she was just on it. She was flipping her hair and then clapping and like communicating the whole entire time, like kind of like teaching in a sense. Like, she was just like, hey, you got to do this and that while they're playing the game. It's like, oh my gosh, how am I'm trying to internalize what you're saying, coach, but like, I'm playing a game at the same time. But the timeouts that the Hawks took, or even St. Joseph, you can tell the difference of whatever coach was saying in those timeouts. There was something different on that field. I'm sorry, on the court. My apologies. I'm on the women's soccer team, so I sometimes get mixed up with field and court. Don't mind me. Um, but I would say that you can tell that her players are buying and taking in what it is that she is enforcing for this team. It's technically a new team. They got a new coaching staff, and they are believing in their coach. They're believing in their abilities, and they're trusting the process. And last night's victory was a product of that. You can tell that, the standings that the Hawks were at last year, like in the MAC, they were ranked second to last. I think that by the performance that they play, because usually those type of games against like St. Joseph, that's in the Atlantic conference, they usually lose those type of games. Nope, they won. And if so, they can win against teams from different conferences and that are really good teams. I can only imagine the damage that they're going to do in the MAC. I'm predicting maybe top 4, top 5 from where they were from 10. I'm just saying that's a huge jump. And I would love to see Coach Jenny, the new head coach, become Coach of the Year. I'm just saying, like it was like I've seen a lot of different women's basketball games, but this one, especially that it was home, the energy, I'm telling you, if you were there, you got to attend a Monmouth women's basketball game. If you were there, you would understand what I'm talking about. And I would say that also, um, it was remarkable to see that because of them sharing the ball so much, that everybody was getting buckets. Everybody was getting points. And there was like, I would say maybe 4 to 5 different players, like especially, oh my gosh, the subbing. Coach Jenny was subbing so many people, and it wasn't because they did anything wrong, but more so, I think she did that. Uh, I would say tactically for fitness wise, because in the second quarter, I noticed that a lot of the girls were getting a little tired, but what they were sending in fresh legs, fresh legs. Hey, you go in, or like also, Mama Hawks got into some foul trouble, so I can see also why there was a lot of subbing. But it didn't matter if you are a starter or if you're coming off the bench. Everybody who was in the game was on it, and they were scoring. And if they weren't scoring, they were making sure that they were getting rebounds so they could score and locking it down defensively. So the Mount Hawks did their job. The fact that St. Joseph had 9 threes and didn't make any of them, that says something. That says something. 33.9% from the field, shutting them down. And Mount Hawks were hitting their threes. So if you look at that proportion, like, I mean, there's nothing that you could say. They weren't finishing their their points. So there's nothing that you can do about that. I would say that overall, that I'm excited to see what the Hawks are going to do. I'm excited to see this team grow. You know, this is just the beginning. The Hawks are 2-1 now, and their next game is against Providence. So we just got to keep the ball running. We got to keep the ball running. And I think that a key factor that will help them succeed is they got to keep this intensity up. They have to continue to win defensively, because then that turns into their offense. And with Stella Clark consistently pushing that ball and finding quick passes to Ariana, or quick passes to Lucy Thompson, like these are killer factors that teams aren't ready for. They're not going to be prepared for what the Hawks has with intensity wise. So I think that if they continue to play the way that they did, and they clean up their silly turnovers, if they I would say, like, I mean, the season just started, so fitness wise, like, I mean, with coach subbing a lot of players and stuff, that shouldn't be an issue, but you know, consistently upgrading, I would say, um, then they're going to really, and to believe in themselves. By the belief, that is a powerful weapon that if you don't have as a team, you're not going to win. You're not going to win. And I believe in the Hawks. I believe in them. And so I'm predicting top 4, top 5, like I mentioned. And I'm excited for what they're going to produce. And I'm excited for Coach Jenny as the new head coach. So thank you so much for tuning in for my little discussion for the Monmouth women's basketball team. I'm Aaliyah Moore for WMCX.